You said the current situation is interpreted as the interregnum between two major technological regimes, giving opportunities also to lagging countries. What are now these frontiers, and what are even the potential threats?
Okay, so what we see, what we can measure, let's say, we see that is innovative activities in the West industrialized world are slowing down a little bit. That means not so much firms are more innovative anymore, new firms are not founded so much anymore, so these innovative activities are slowing down. And this could be an indication that technological potentials get exploited. And we know now from long wave theory, which is a metaphorical approach. I wouldn't claim that you can prove this approach very, very solidly, but it's a metaphorical approach, which says that once in a while, big technologies come up, big opportunities come up, which then are exploited by various actors, firms and other actors. And when those opportunities get exploited over time, then innovative activities go down, and then by some mechanism, maybe it's even at a sudden, a new opportunity comes up. And it seems to be that we are in such kind of a situation. So innovative activities slow down. If you ask firms, they are uncertain what the future will bring about. Now they are waiting for new opportunities. And this could be something in terms of in biotechnology, health direction, environmental technologies, but also what we now discuss very much, the digitalization of the production of the economy. Robots will come up, and this will maybe change the complete economic system. And now firms wait for that. They are uncertain whether they should invest in that or not. And so in this sense, we are in an interregnum. So there is something to be approached, but firms do not know how to do this, and we are now in this situation. These new opportunities will have the advantage, let's say, new growth potentials, because growth is also slowing down a little bit, new growth potentials. Secondly, with these new opportunities, the knowledge you build up for the old technology is not so much worth anymore. It's very much depreciated. And that means all countries, or let's say more countries, are now at the start line to exploit the new technology. And this gives countries which were behind, which were lagging in the old paradigm, gives them a certain advantage. That means the leaders in the old technology, maybe the US and some European countries like Germany and Japan, they have now much more competitors because other countries could now step in and also try to take the lead. So you have a change in this direction. These are so-called windows of opportunities, and this again will change the whole global economy in a certain sense. Threats, this is a big discussion because we experienced over the last two centuries that more and more labor got substituted by machines of various types. And of course, if a new potential comes up, a new technological potential, then with all the hopes, there is also a concern whether now again more and more labor will be substituted and how one can accomplish that. And there are various ideas around whether this will happen or not and how this could be accomplished, but this is a major concern.
Since we are focusing also especially on the future of Europe, in this long-run technological tendency, what do you see, what do you foresee for Europe and possibly Italy in this future?
Okay, now this change from an old big technology to a new one, maybe to the robotics, let's say, this paradigm. This requires a system change. A system change cannot be accomplished by a single individual person. It has to be accomplished collectively. That means a lot of actors have to work together, pushing the new technology, pulling it by demand and so on. These are private actors. This is also the political class. They have also to intervene into this process in a collective way in order to make this possible. And now, last week I was in China, and I saw how they can organize a lot of people to go into one direction. these are private actors, these are political actors, in order to develop a certain stream of technology and then all the economic benefits. They are able to do this. And now in Europe, we don't have this Chinese system. We have a system of liberal economies, and now we have to coordinate this. And if Europe is able to coordinate this step from the old system to the new system in an appropriate way, then I think the future is quite well. So they should not be too anxious about that. But if they do not coordinate in this sense, then I think they will be lagging behind China probably, or other countries which are more successful in doing that. Also the US. Also the question whether they will manage that or not. But I think Europe as this collection of various countries, if they are able to coordinate that in a sufficiently efficient way, then the future is prosperous, I think.
And more in general, going back to the title of the event for the 40th anniversary of Prometeia, what role do you foresee for Europe in the world, and why not for Italy in Europe in 40 years?
Okay, for Italy, I mean, Italy is within the European economies, it's somewhere in the middle. That's fine. And I think Italy could have a good chance in this system transition because Italy has a firm structure which is small and medium-sized firms. Italy does not have so much of very big, large firms. And the promoters of the system change, or let's say the very decisive promoters are small and medium-sized firms because they are much more flexible in order to take up the new challenges. A big firm is always concerned whether the investment they did 10 years before it has to be regained by the market. So they are not so easy in changing things. But small and medium-sized firms, they are very easy in doing that. And therefore, Italy could, because of its industry structure, these small and medium-sized firms, could be a forerunner in this process. Other countries like France, which have very, very big firms and trusts, they might have more problems in promoting that. But Italy could have a good chance in that. So
you think that's an advantage, not
that's the advantage of Italy. It was always said Italy has a disadvantage because there's small firms, you need these big firms for scale economies, and. This is fine when you are still in a phase where you can exploit plentiful opportunities. But when it comes to jump to a new opportunity, then smaller firms are more flexible in doing that, and they have a big advantage in that. There are also policy programs around which just promote that. For example, smart specialization is a concept, not for countries, but for regions, but this is not so much decisive. And they said, these small firms are those who can make it to bring this region and to anchor it into a big technology. The small firms are doing, not the big ones. And for that reason, I think Italy has an advantage. Germany has an advantage, for example, with all these small and medium-sized firms in machinery. There's also an advantage. But when it comes to automobiles also, when we have these very big firms, then these are also not so easy in changing their technology and their production structure.